We are back reacting to a video from the TheDuelLogs, the top 10 best classic equipped spell cards before synchros came out. And it's nice that they clarified this because last time we were talking about something like this, we were like, okay, what exactly is classic? What era is that from? So before synchros came out, that's what we're doing today. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I am your guide with many YouTube channels. Guys, please go show the TheDuelLogs some love in the pinned comment description down below. The channel is phenomenal since I found it. Let's get started.
Equip cards are the least used types of spell cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Due to their lackluster effects compared to the strength of modern cards. However, in classic Yu-Gi-Oh! Where the game is a lot slower, equip cards see some usage.
To be honest with you, depending on what format you're playing, I have a lot of experience with Hat and Edison. I still do love my equip cards. If you're talking about the modern day, Moon Mirror Shield is one of my favorite cards of all time.
And for this video, classic Yu-Gi-Oh! Is just the time period before synchro monsters came out. Starting off our list at number 10 is Big Bang Shot. This equip spell came out back in 2003 and was commonly found in a lot of structure decks up to the late 2000s.
This card actually completely just escaped my memory, man. The equip monster gains 400 attack if the equip monster attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage. I remember when this card was actually used.
This was because Big Bang Shot is a very splashable equip card. Simply, the equip spell gives the equip monster a 400 attack boost as well as piercing damage, meaning that if you attack a defense position monster, you deal damage to your opponent equal to the difference between your monster's attack and their defense points.
And in an era where there were a lot of decks with low attack points, setting monsters, having your big baddie like Blue Eyes White Dragon, stuff like that. And I know that it's been used a little bit as time's gone on, but this is more of a classic card, I will say.
However, the only downside other than being an equip spell is that when Big Bang Shot leaves the field, you banish the equipped monster.
It's funny how unnecessary some of the drawbacks to certain cards are, aren't they?
Big Bang Shot, despite its seemingly mediocre effect, has some great use in classic Yu-Gi-Oh! With high beat stick monsters and the battle phase being significantly more important in the current format, Big Bang Shot serves as a simple but effective wall-breaking tool.
Yeah, like I said, it did the job back in the day. So, I was about to say, I already forgot we're talking about the top 10 best classic equipped spell cards. I don't remember, like, what else there could be. Megamorph's got to be one of them, but maybe I'm only remembering that because they showed it.
A good tool if your opponent stays on a defensive wall, like Spirit Reaper.
Yes,
Throw
yes.
Big Bang Shot into your boss monster and beat through your opponent's defense position.
That's more what I remember, is people using it with their boss monsters.
Or just deal damage to the battle immune monsters. A common strategy with Big Bang Shot is using it in tandem with Asura Priest, in an OTK strategy that revolves around abusing its multiple attack effect.
Interesting.
See, Asura Priest has the effect where it can attack all monsters your opponent controls.
For some reason, I do not remember this. I don't remember this. I wonder how common it was for people to use this back in the day.
Once each. Combo this with some Ojama tokens that are summoned to your opponent's side of the field through Ojama Trio.
Oh,
cards like
dude, we gotta love those old Yu-Gi-Oh! Strats, man.
Mage Power and Big Bang Shot, and you've got yourself an OTK.
You know what's funny? It's still to this day I use Mage Power. I still use United We Stand. I still use Mage Power. I love those two cards. I think they're so underrated, man.
However, Big Bang Shot isn't widely used for two main reasons in classic Yu-Gi-Oh! The main reason is that if Big Bang Shot leaves the field, the equipped monster gets banished instead. And unlike modern Yu-Gi-Oh!, there aren't as many tools to bring back banished monsters. So if you have your big monster equipped with Big Bang Shot and your opponent simply throws out a spell trap removal, then say goodbye to your boss monster.
Yeah, it was pretty easy. It's too big of a drawback, but I guess it goes to show how bad equipped spell cards used to be if this is one of the best.
However, this can be used offensively as well. You can equip Big Bang Shot to your opponent's monster and then use any spell or trap removal to banish that monster.
That was so little used that I don't even remember that, to be honest.
The reason why it's not used much is that piercing damage isn't game-changing. Although, as nice as the 400 bonus attack points and piercing damage are for the additional damage that it provides, it's far outclassed by the other equipped spells on this list.
It's gotta be.
However, despite the downsides, Big Bang Shot fulfills a niche that few cards of the classic era do.
And it has that old like art style to it too. I really, dude, this card escaped my memory completely, man.
And that's why it's at number 10. And at number 9 on this list, we have Horn of the Unicorn. This equip spell provides the equipped monster with a sizable 700 bonus to attack and defense point.
Now, of course, we would never use this in formats to come, but back in the day, this was a very strong card and you could equip it to any monster.
As well as the effect that if Horn of the Unicorn is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can return it to the top of your deck. Horn of the Unicorn was one of the earliest equipped cards, coming out more than 20 years ago in 2002 Spell Ruler release, and saw countless appearances in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime earlier.
I really don't remember it coming in the anime show either, but another thing was, I remember that sometimes it would go against you if you were low on cards and you constantly had the card going back to the top of the deck. That wasn't so helpful.
Its first debut was in episode 4 in one of the earliest duels of the series. It's even seen in Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds briefly as Luna uses it in her duel. Regardless,
Shocker.
Horn of the Unicorn can provide some pretty good bonuses to both attack and defense, which
Yeah,
is
700 back in the day was a big game changer. Using that along with Big Bang Shot, oh boy.
pretty rare for equip cards in general, as surprisingly, very few of them actually increase the defense of a monster. Not to take away from its main appeal, that being its effect to return to the top of the deck when it's sent from the field to the graveyard, which allows for more or less a constant 700 attack and defense point boost.
Yeah, but you need the proper amount of cards for that to work out, because it could lose you the game too, returning to the top of the deck. I've always hated, like, oh crap. There's a card where you discard Phoenix Wing Wind Blast, I believe it was. I loved using that. I'm almost sure that's what it was. You discard a card to return a card to the top of the deck. I always loved using that if I was almost getting a game on my opponent.
However, this effect is Horn of the Unicorn's downfall, as it takes your draw up. So, if it keeps getting destroyed, then you're locked into drawing it over and over, which at times can be detrimental, which is why it's only number 9 on our list. But again, the versatility and renewability of Horn of the Unicorn still puts it on the list for classic Yu-Gi-Oh! And at number 8, we have Rod of Silence KS.
Oh my god, I forgot about that card too. Oh my god.
It has 2 effects, just like our last entry. First is the equipped monster gains 500 defense points. The other effect is why this card is used, in that all other spell effects that target the equipped monster are negated and destroyed.
And of course, back in the day, this actually did mean something. A lot of people had a bunch of cards that, I mean, you could still use it today, but it's a little bit more useless, but you get my point.
So essentially, protection against the second most common card in the game. The defense point gain is pretty irrelevant, as the main use of KS is for its spell negation. Spell cards that target your opponent's monsters are quite common in classic Yu-Gi-Oh!, with cards like Book of Moon or Enemy Controller as common cards in decks across the format.
But the thing is, like, I'm talking about formats even before, like, Book of Moon and Enemy Controller saw play. That's, it's not like, I think it was more useful even before that. Nobody used Rod of Silence KS when people were maining Enemy Controllers.
Not to mention, KS negates all cards on this list as well, in that equipped cards constantly target the monster. So if your opponent uses a Snatch Steal or an Ekibyo Drakmor to target your monster with KS when it's equipped, that's not going to resolve.
Dude, I always love Snatch Steal. One of my favorite. That's gotta be on the list, right? Because that's a great card.
Constant spell card negation is quite the rare fact, let alone for the worst type of spell card in the game. Some fun lore with the Rod of Silence in that it's part of a group called the Guardian Weapons. This is a group of 8 monsters that all have a signature weapon, that being the Guardian Weapons.
Was this like Raphael's deck or something, or am I remembering that incorrectly? I could be remembering that incorrectly, but still, very cool card.
Which are Butterfly Dagger Elma with Guardian.
Well, I guess I was wrong. Oh, wait, no, he did use the Guardian decks, right? I wish I could remember, guys. I'm sorry. I've been still getting back into the game,
Elma,
man.
Gravity Axe Garl with Guardian Garl, Twin Swords of Flashing Light Trice with Guardian
Maybe
Trice,
I was wrong.
Wicked Breaking Flameberg Bow with the Guardian Glamberg, Shooting Star Bull Seal with Guardian Seal.
Dude, I remember all of these cards, man. Hey, I like the Shooting Star Bow. Can attack your opponent directly.
Rod of Silence KS with Guardian KS, Celestial Star Iatos with Guardian Iatos.
Oh, I was right, because he used Guardian Iatos. I just don't remember the other cards for some reason.
And Reaper Scythe Death Scythe with Guardian Dread Scythe. Each of the Guardians have strong stats, but require the equip spell to already be on the field to summon them. However, while they are both on the field, both the equip card and the monster can do some damage. For example,
Yeah, but good luck getting them all out at the same time, man.
there's the Celestial Sword Iatos and Guardian Iatos. The Celestial Sword has the effect that the equipped monster gains 500 attack, and when it's sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target a Guardian Iatos to gain 500 attack for each banished monster.
Yeah, like that's not useful. It's not worth getting all of that out of the field at the same time, especially with the Iatos.
Guardian Iatos, once on the field, can send an equipped spell card to the graveyard to target 3 monsters in your opponent's graveyard and banish them, and it gains 500 attack per banished monster. So the combination of the two can give Iatos a pretty sizable attack point gain on top of its already 2500 attack.
Especially in the old days, though, man, the juice just is not worth the squeeze for that type of stuff, man.
However, the effect typically overlaps with KS's effect, as the Guardian is unaffected by spell card effects and can't be targeted for attacks. Unfortunately, for the equip card, it doesn't protect itself just like the monster. So, like most equipped spells, it's quite vulnerable to spell and trap destruction.
But then again, I would just rather beat it with a monster and use my MST on something else.
Regardless, in the slow-paced play of early Yu-Gi-Oh!, Rod of Silence has some amazing value for negating a wide variety of spell cards. And at number 7, we have Megamorph. This equip spell is the epitome of a double-edged sword. Megamorph's effect is that while your life points are lower than your opponent's, the equipped monster's attack is double. However, if your life points are higher, then the equipped monster's attack becomes halved. Megamorph theoretically has the highest attack point gain out of all the equipped spells. Because
Yeah, I was about to say everybody liked using this big baddie with blue eyes white dragon, especially like I don't know if you guys were ever a kid playing with 4,000 life points, like that was what we did every once in a while, and Megamorph was always a big game changer. And it's funny how sometimes it could just bite you in the butt too once you start getting the upper hand.
if you equip it to a blue eyes white dragon or any other large beat stick, their attack is double. So sticking with our blue eyes example, it gains 3,000 attack points, which can easily swing games while you're behind. But that's the issue. You have to be behind when it comes to Megamorph, as that's only when you get the good effect. Once the blue eyes beats over a weaker blocker in the way and your opponent's life points fall below, then your blue eyes white dragon is looking more like a Blackland fire dragon.
But that's what I love about it. Like it's one of those cards that it has such a strong effect, but the punch back to it's kind of like worth using it. It makes for some very, very interesting gameplay, unlike the Big Bang Shot where it's just not worth it to use.
But Megamorph has found some fun strategies to abuse its effect. Specifically with Cyberstein, which is a level 2 monster that has the cost to pay 5,000 life points to cheat out a fusion monster from your extra deck. The OTK involved using Cyberstein's effect to bring up Master Boss, which has...
I forgot about that! Dude, this is what I've been enjoying getting back into the game, is like so many memories have been getting unlocked. I forgot about that!
a staggering 4,200 attack points. Then, by equipping with Megamorph, you can pretty easily beat through any monster in your way.
That's so
And
funny.
at number 6, we have the Axe of Despair. This equipped spell not only adds an extra 1,000 attack points, but also has the effect that when it's sent from the field to the grave, you can tribute a monster to place the axe on top of your deck.
You know what? I always kind of like this card. Every once in a while, dude, it's still viable in some formats. It still is. 1,000 attack point boost? I think it's pretty good.
So essentially, Axe of Despair is a better, stronger version of the previously mentioned Horn of the Unicorn. Not only does Axe of Despair provide a better attack boost than the Horn, but also gives the player the choice to bring the Axe of Despair back from the grave once it's destroyed. Although the cost is significantly resource heavy compared to Horn of the Unicorn.
I personally think Horn of the Unicorn is better than Axe of Despair for that reason. But then again, I get how you can get trapped with Horn of the Unicorn. It can really be a make or break sometimes.
But at least it doesn't force you into using it. Unlike Horn of the Unicorn, the main reason why Axe of Despair is used is just for the 1,000 attack points that it gives while equipped. Axe of Despair is one of the most generic equipped spells that provides one of the highest attack points boosts in the classic Yu-Gi-Oh!
And I love the artwork for it too. Look at that head, man, on the axe. Crazy.
Outside of a couple of other options. It's commonly seen in beatdown or OTK decks like Benkei OTK, which is a deck that revolves around equipping Armed Samurai Benkei with a bunch of equip cards and attacking multiple times, as the monster effect allows it to attack a number of times equal to the amount of equip cards equipped to it plus.
Dude, I still love this channel, man. Like, I get that it's just like particles and stuff, but I like the way this is all presented. This is like the perfect kind of just like background content to listen to. I'm enjoying unlocking the memories along with it too.
1. Speaking of equip spell cards that provide bigger boosts than Axe of Despair, next we have United We Stand.
Yes! Yes! I still use this card today. That mage power, so underrated. At the minimum, you get an 800 attack point boost. At the minimum. Do you know how much attack points you can rack up sometimes with this bad boy?
Equip spell has a pretty simple effect. That being, the equipped monster gains 800 attack and defense points for each monster you control. Despite how simple United We Stand is, it's a common staple in all decks.
I still use it today. Today, I still use it.
The card flat out provides an 800 attack boost and quickly ramps up to 1600, 2400, 3200, and 4000 when you have a monster in each monster zone.
It's a
However,
game changer.
Getting a monster in every monster zone to fully capitalize on the equip card might prove a bit of a challenge in some cases.
It doesn't matter. You get an 800 attack point boost, and oftentimes you're getting at least 1600.
However, it's not impossible. To prevent the abuse of United We Stand, it was limited to one copy for pretty much its entire run in classic Yu-Gi-Oh! There are some strategies that could easily get bodies on board and multiple copies of United We Stand, which could be pretty problematic in that slower format. Regardless, United We Stand provides a ton of battle damage for little to no cost. And most times, the 800 attack boost was all you needed for your equip spells.
Yep, that's what I'm saying. It's enough to get over a lot of monsters, man. A very, very underrated card. It's a timeless card. Still use it.
Beat over big monsters. When United We Stand was released back in 2003, it was only available as an ultra rare, and this followed for the next 3 sets that it was featured in: Labyrinth of Nightmare, Dark Beginnings 1, and Retro Pack 2. So United We Stand was quite the rare find for its time.
Dude, I wonder what's going to be. I think, like, because we saw them, it's got to be Mage Power and Snatch Steal, right? It's got to be.
Is the most used equip spell for attack points, Mage Power. Similar to United We Stand,
There we go.
Mage Power was essentially the same type of card, but rather than gaining bonuses for monsters on the field, Mage Power granted 500 attack and defense for each spell and trap card you controlled instead.
I like both of these cards a lot. I don't know which I prefer, to be honest with you, because I use them both. Oftentimes, when running in a deck, I'll run one Mage Power and I'll run one United We Stand.
This essentially is just an upgraded version of United We Stand, as it's far easier to fill your back row with spells and traps compared to monsters. Although the bonus attack points are 300 less each.
The thing is, though, a lot of times I have to worry about Heavy Storm, so I don't set my whole hand.
The ease of using spells and traps compared to monsters is significantly easier to ramp up the attack points.
But like, that's what I'm talking about too, just the presentation of the video. I like that we have like the church window background here with Mage Power. I think it's like a nice touch, man. There's a lot of care that's put into these videos, which I appreciate, man. This channel's really, really good.
With a card in each spell and trap card zone, including a field spell, a monster can gain up to 3,000 attack from one United We Stand. The combination of the ease of use and how common it was to build a strong back row makes Mage Power one of the most commonly used equipped spells that gives attack points in classic Yu-Gi-Oh! It was limited to one copy, just like its brother United We Stand, for the same reason.
Yep,
However,
it was a very good card, and it still is a very good card, man. So it's funny how like we still to this day use some of those classic cards.
The next couple of cards on our list are equally abusable and even outright banned in some cases.
I can only think of Snatch
Number
Steal.
3, we have the King of Infinite Loops, Butterfly Dagger Elma. This equip card provides the equipped monster with 300 attack points, but has the effect that when the card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, Butterfly Dagger Elma returns to the hand.
And that's a great equip card, don't get me wrong, especially for classic Yu-Gi-Oh! I still think that United We Stand and Mage Power are significantly better than this. Like, it's only 300 attack.
Coincidentally, Butterfly Dagger Elma is also part of the Guardian cards that we mentioned previously on this list with Rod of Silence KS. So it's pretty safe to assume Butterfly Dagger Elma is banned and won't see the light of day ever again.
What was it? What did the other card do? Why am I not remembering this?
Unless Konami changes the effect entirely. Due to Elma's effects not having any limitations, Elma has been used for quite a number of broken infinite loops.
Hang on.
Common example
they're not going to show. Okay, Guardian Elma, Yu-Gi-Oh. What's it do? Let's see. Excuse me, guys. I should probably pause my video while I'm doing this, but hey, we're in too deep now. Okay, we're in too deep. Let's see. So, cannot be summoned unless you control face up Butterfly Dagger Elma. When this card is normal special summon, you can target one appropriate equip spell in your graveyard. Equip that target to its card. What's the big deal about that? What am I not understanding here? When this card's normal summon or special summon, no, it doesn't have anything to do with that. I don't know.
Is Royal Magical Library, which has the effect that each time a spell card is activated, you can draw one card. So if Elma was constantly destroyed by a card like Gearfree the Iron Knight, which has the effect...
Oh, I see. I don't remember this for some reason. I don't even remember Elma being banned. It's ringing a bell a little bit. Huh.
That if equipped spell is equipped to it, you destroy the equipped spell. So just that creates a simple infinite loop, which allows you to draw through your entire deck or combo off infinitely with cards that do burn damage like Fire Princess and Morale Boost.
Dude, I forgot Fire Princess too, man. So, dude, this is like walking through memory lane.
Number 2, we have Premature Burial. This
I forgot about that one.
But as an equip spell, which is infinitely better.
Yeah, I forgot about Premature Burial. That was always an excellent card. I always really liked the artwork for it too, with the cross and like the little zombie coming out. Super cool.
That, I mean, its effect allows you to pay 800 life points to target one monster in your graveyard and then special summon it in attack position. Once Premature Burial is destroyed, then you destroy that special summon monster. Like the previous 2 entries as well, Premature Burial is also on the limited list at 1 copy in Classic Yu-Gi-Oh! This is because Monster Reborn S cards are either banned or limited in Classic Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, it's just like another Monster Reborn. Has a little bit of a cost, and you have to keep the equip spell in the field, but it's just a flat-out really, really good card.
Monster Reborn is usually banned, and Call the Haunted is also limited to 1 copy. The distinction between the two is that once the spell or trap card leaves the field, that special summon monster also says goodbye, unlike Monster Reborn. Regardless, Premature Burial is an insanely strong card for the classic era.
Oh yeah.
Special summoning monsters from your graveyard is just incredibly powerful.
And it's any monster too. It's not like level 4 or lower or anything like that. It was always a really good card. It's flat out Monster Reborn.
Boss monster or key combo piece got destroyed. Well, bring it back by paying a low cost of 800 life points. No conditions, no hassle. And you could even bounce it back to your hand with Giant Trunade to do it over again.
That's true.
Last but not least is Snatch Steal,
Yep.
which is arguably...
I knew it. Snatch Steal's great, dude. I've always loved this card. And I remember having it in Ultimate Rare too, which is it was always a cool card.
The best equipped spell card in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Probably because it doesn't even do what the typical equipped cards do. It's an offensive equipped card that targets a monster your opponent control and lets you take control of it. All for the low cost of giving your opponent 1,000 life points during each of their standby phases.
And obviously that meant nothing. That it still to this day means nothing to get your opponent's monster. Crazy. It's a crazy good deal.
Snatch Steal turns games around. There is so much utility in stealing your opponent's monster, from using it as a tribute for one of your monsters, using it as a cost for a card, and of course using it as your own to just attack your opponent.
That's what I like using it. I always found pleasure in using my opponent's monsters to attack with them.
Which is why Snatch Steal is used in almost every single classic Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
Deck because of how it can turn a game around and its versatility.
Yeah, you can do anything with it. Versatility is the perfect word for it.
Just like in the current modern format, Snatch Steal is limited to 1. But for a time, Snatch Steal even spent time on the ban list. And for a time, I mean for a really long time.
You know, before he said that, I was about to say that I remember it being banned for a long time.
Yu-Gi-Oh! With as many negates and protection effects out there, Snatch Steal is still on the limited list. Because even still in modern Yu-Gi-Oh!, cards that take control of your opponent's monsters have heavy limitations on them. But
yeah, Snatch Steal was just like, hey, give me that permanently.
we are talking about classic Yu-Gi-Oh! Here, where the game is a lot slower than modern, and there are very few, if no, negates for a card like Snatch Steal, which only strengthens how good the card is. Which is why Snatch Steal is hands down one of the best equipped spells in classic Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, I would still say I agree with Snatch Steal, but I would put United We Stand and Mage Power right behind that personally. Dude, that was a really good video, man. I really enjoyed the content from the DuelLogs over there. If you want to continue watching content from the DuelLogs and our reaction, we did make another reaction to their video right here. I would love to have you over there. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Take care, guys.